Hello everybody! I have the most amazing recipe for you today with big thanks to Laurie D from season 2. We were talking on the phone the other day and she mentioned this recipe, and it was just one of those things that's kind of funny timing because, you know, the blog this week was all about trying something new and finding a new vegetable, something you haven't eaten, and she started talking about cauliflower. And I have never liked cauliflower. Raw, cooked, you name it, not interested. And she said she had this great recipe. And I thought, well, you know what? It's my week to try it. So here we go. So I made this last night and I don't have much of a sample left because I ate most of it. This is amazing. So if you don't like cauliflower, stay with me because you are going to love this. Willow, of course, loves cauliflower. There you go, darling. That's why she begs, because I let her. Okay, so cauliflower snack. This is a great snack. You need a cup of cauliflower, a tablespoon of olive oil. I used salt, garlic, and cayenne pepper, but you could use any powdered spices you like. And you'll need some parchment paper. So if you don't have some, buy some or borrow it from the neighbor. You don't need very much. Now, this is one snack. Let me tell you, if you only make one serving, you'll wish that you had made some more. So I'm just going to give you a single serving size and then you can expand it as much as you like. So for your cup of cauliflower, what you want to do is break the cauliflower up into approximately popcorn size pieces. So you can just take a chunk off your whole floret there, to take one of the little florets and start breaking it into popcorn size pieces. Now, when Laurie told me about this recipe, she said popcorn to ping pong ball size. So obviously the bigger the pieces, the longer this will take to cook. I went with some pretty small pieces. You can use the ends for something else. I like to have these little pieces to have not very long tails on them. They don't have to be super short, but you don't want it all the way down to the base. Just the little popcorn looking parts are perfect. So have your pieces fairly uniform so that they cook at a similar speed, and just break enough little pieces off until you have one full cup. See, so that piece is a little bit bigger than some of the others, so I'll break it in half because it really did make a difference having them not exactly the same size, but similar. Really helped. Okay, so last little piece in here to fill up our cup. There we go. There you go, sweetheart. Now, here's the trick. Put the oil in the bowl first because you want to get a nice uniform, even coating on your cauliflower. So 1 tablespoon of oil, you probably end up eating about half of it. About half, maybe a third, seemed to stick to the bowl and just wouldn't go anywhere. Now, like I said, I used salt, garlic, and cayenne pepper, and just a little of each. It's kind of to taste. Just a little sprinkle of cayenne gave it a little kick. If it's hot, use something else. Garlic powder worked really well. I'm not so sure that fresh would have worked as well, but just a little shake of that garlic powder, maybe a little more there. So the amount that I've used would be a little less than 1/4 teaspoon of the garlic and maybe about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne. And then for the salt, about 1/4 teaspoon of salt there. That's sea salt that I'm using, not table salt ever. So just swirl it around. You could use a fork, but I found swirling it worked just fine. So now it's all nice and mixed. And then you just throw it in. Mix it around, use a fork if you like, or just give it a stir. Make sure the pieces have a nice even coating. They need the oil for the roasting and also to get the flavor on them. So that's it. Super simple. You can see how long that took. Not long at all. Now, the part that's lengthy is the cooking process. This takes 45 minutes to an hour to cook. Set your oven at 425, and you're going to use a cookie sheet. Put the parchment paper on a cookie sheet, which is the item that's in my drying rack at home this morning. I forgot to bring the cookie sheet. But what you'll do is put the parchment paper down on the cookie sheet so it stays flat. Give these one last little toss, and then you're just going to spread the cauliflower out onto your paper there. Oops, some of those pieces are a little big, so I'll just cut those in half right now. It doesn't have to be an exact science. Like I said, it came out better when they were a little more similar in size. So I've got them spread out. Some of them are touching a little bit, some of them not. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's it. So the oven is set at 425. Put them in for 15 minutes. Make sure you set the timer because after 15 minutes, you're going to want to take a spatula and just turn them over a little bit because they will start to brown pretty quickly at 425. Now you'll need to do the tossing every 15 minutes. Now for these little pieces, they only took 45 minutes to cook. If you have more like ping pong ball size pieces, that's going to take an hour. So what I recommend is have a little notepad or something where you can make a check mark of how long they've been in there. Because Laurie warned me, she said after about a half an hour, they're going to look done, but they're not. After 45 minutes, they looked quite black. They really look burnt, but they're not. They're delicious. Now, the thing is, they're not so good the next day. The next day, they're pretty soft and the flavor's a little bit different the next day. This is one of those things that you want to take out of the oven and eat straight away. So like I said, after 45 minutes, these were quite black. I considered them done. If they were larger, I would have given them the extra 15, but do allow them to get really very dark brown. I mean, you can see with the white background here, I mean, they really look burnt. I promise you they're not. It's the natural sugars and the roasting process making them so brown. They are unbelievably delicious. This could be a really healthy side dish to a main meal. It could be a snack. You could even sprinkle these hot onto a fresh garden salad just for a little extra kick. I know we've discovered that you love cauliflower. So try this out, especially if you've never liked cauliflower. Try this. I promise you, you will love it. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Laurie, and thanks everyone for joining us. Bye-bye.